We all know the power of word of mouth. It's huge, but it can come from a lot of places. It can come from friends, it can come from acquaintances, it can come from social media posts, it can come from recommendation sites. But there's one type of word of mouth that's more important and more powerful than all of them. In my mystery shopping business, we do a lot of work about the power of recommendations. What happens when someone recommends a product? So here's an example. You're at the hardware store and you need to buy some mulch for your vegetable garden. You're confronted by shelves of stuff. They all look about the same. They're all around the same price and they've all got this really bright packaging. You just don't know which way to go. So what do? You find a staff member walking past and you ask the question. You say, "Hey, I'm trying to." And you might then also ask, "What would you recommend?" Or "What do you think I should?" So you ask these questions just begging, hoping for someone to make it clear for you. Staff member says, "Try that product over there." What you're more than likely to do is select that product, whether it's the best, the cheapest, or the whatever. So let's have a look at some real life examples, or let's have a look at one in particular. So let's have a look at a real life example. This is a real example in a hardware store, though it's not for garden mulch, it's for another product category. But look at these results. The blue line represents the first recommendation for the competitor's product. So the competitor has product 1, and it's recommended 64% of the time. Now the red line underneath is the market share. So when this product is recommended 64% of the time, its market share is 56%. Now this one also happens to be the dearer product of product 1 and product 2. Product 2 is the cheaper product and it's recommended, blue line, 31% of the time. And it's only got 32% market share. So despite the fact that product 2 is cheaper than product 1 has the majority of market share. Now, sure, there can be a whole lot of other things going on, but what this tells you is that there is a correlation between the recommendation being on a certain product or not. It's at this point that a lot of brands fall over with their network management. They spend all their money on the packaging and posters up in stores and things like that, but they're not spending the money on the business development managers who go out to these stores, hold their hand up, hold their head high, and start talking about their product. This is where retail is won. This is where you beat the competition. Now, this doesn't only apply to retail, this applies to services. I recently suggested a service to a friend of mine. She had about 3 or 4 choices, and she took the one that I recommended over the ones that she'd researched herself. Kind of made me feel that responsibility, that power. It's not a power in a evil sort of Dr. Evil way. It's power in that you've got to accept that responsibility. Like, people listen to what you say. Now, this applies also if you're selling services like you're selling conference rooms or you're selling speakers, you're selling workshops. What you recommend is what people are going to very heavily sway towards. You know that, but we often underestimate the power of our own words. Our words are hugely powerful. There is the Spider-Man quote about "with great power," but I won't go there. I'm Stephen DiPietro. Thanks for tuning in.